Language is inextricably linked to power. You can only change a language if you've got power. If a group of people come into a country and they're poor and they don't have any significant power at all, the fact that they speak a different language is neither here nor there. They will get poor jobs, and until they learn the language of power of that community, they will stay that way. The immigrant situation in America in the 19th century, and still today really, is a situation where people who come in are not empowered. And the argument of some of the people who are arguing for English as the official language of America is that the only way to give them power is by insisting that they learn English. Those who take a different view say that this will happen anyway, and you don't need to make a language official in order to achieve that kind of goal. And those of us who are linguists would want to argue that the desirable state of affairs is that you get a balance between the learning of the empowering language and the maintenance of the original language of origin, the ethnic language. And this is a perfectly normal state of affairs in most parts of the world. We have to remember that it is the normal human condition to be bilingual. Something like 2/3 of the world's population is naturally bilingual. Perhaps half the world's population is multilingual, 3 or more languages. Go to Africa and most people speak several languages. In South Africa, it's perfectly normal to find people speaking 4, 5, 6 languages. It's unusual for people who have come from a colonial history and for whom, therefore, they are monolingual. If you go abroad and you are taking over some other country, then they speak your language, you don't speak theirs. It's unusual for monolingual nations to see the point here. But the fact of the matter is that multilingualism is a perfectly normal state of affairs, and that it is possible to achieve it through careful, sensitive, balanced language planning. In America, there was never any chance of the language being replaced by any of the immigrant groups, simply because the power differential maintained the status quo. In the future, it could be very different. Many people now in America and in other parts of the world who have a mother tongue that is not English or who are competently bilingual and are in positions of considerable power. And therefore, the balance of power could change the balance of language in any part of the world. And it's going to be an interesting 100 years to see to what extent English now comes to be not knocked off its perch. I don't think that could happen yet, but certainly that it could become a more balanced linguistic scenario in some of the world's most powerful nations.